Welcome back to Parks with Benefits, everyone. This is Alicia, and today we're going down to the Bayou. That's right, Mardi Gras is back at Universal Orlando. It's running now through Thursday, April 4th, and this year, Mardi Gras is every night. But of course, what is Mardi Gras without the parade? It's the best part of it all. This year, the parade's theme is party animals. It starts at 5:15 on March 4th and between 6:15 and 7:45 all other days. When you get into the park, just look at your map. It'll tell you on the top left corner. If you don't like fighting people for beads and you want a calming experience, well, as calm as Mardi Gras can be, you're going to want to head to outside of the gift shop for Transformers. That's where I usually stand. It's about me and 5 other people. We all have our own space and we all get buckets of beads. If you're more into a crowded experience, go to Jimmy Fallon in New York and in front of Finnegan's. Now, for some reason, the people on the floats like to hit the windows at Finnegan's, so if you step back from the crowd a little bit, you'll be sure to get a bunch of beads in your hands. If you have some little jesters, the kids area is in Hollywood, across from where the Terminator 3D ride used to be. All right, the first float we have is the Miss New Orleans float. The great part about Mardi Gras is they still have their concerts and they have them every weekend. But if you have someone that you really want to see, definitely get there early and set up while the parade is going on, because once the parade's over, everyone swarms the amphitheater. The Universal Orlando annual pass holder spot is in front of Mel's Drive-In. It's a great spot because you get the floats as they're leaving and coming in, so you get a double chance for beads. Up next, we have the Tidal float. Universal does still have their Superstar Parade, only now it'll be at 2 or 3 p.m. Handicap viewing is in front of the Macy's facade in New York next to the Mummy entrance. So if you're looking at the Mummy, it's to the left and across the street. If you want to be on a float, it's not guaranteed, but if you're staying at a hotel on Universal property, go down to the front desk and ask the concierge for help. They can usually help you out. And here, of course, we have the Jester float. If you're an annual pass holder, you actually have a page to sign up for it. I'll put the link in the video description. You can always just show up the day of and hope to get on a standby spot. They usually have a few open for people. We're going down Alligator Alley. This is the Swamp Float. Now, this is a 20-minute parade, and as you'll notice, there's no one running through and in between the floats. The team members are really good at keeping people out of the road. So if you need to get around the parade for any reason and you can't see the front of it, don't run forwards, run backwards. It's the easiest way to get around it. Here we have the Birds float. Being on a float is amazing. So first you get to hang out at Central Park until it's time to go back. Then you get your own fancy Mardi Gras costume to wear. They teach you how to throw the beads, which is in a frisbee motion or underhanded. And what is a bird's float without our bees float? If you love Mardi Gras beads just like I do, don't you worry, Universal has put a lot of money into their beads and they are sure that anyone that wants them will get them. But please remember, don't fight over the beads. They're made out of plastic, not gold. Here's our Jungle float. If someone on a float doesn't throw you beads this time, you'll get some from the next person. Everyone that wants beads will get them. If you miss the parade completely but still want beads, there are going to be Mardi Gras characters wandering around. Here we have the Arctic float. If you're someone that's desperate to see the transition of the Boulangerie into the Today Cafe, the easiest way to see it is to get on a float and be on the top. I would love to show it to you, but I'm pretty sure that Universal would be upset. That giant turtle means only one thing. It's time for the Ocean float. 20 minutes doesn't really seem like a long time until you're throwing beads at people. It's a great upper arm workout. There's just a lot of beads. You end up getting really good at hitting your intended target. Here we have Preservation Hall float. Now, around Transformers is where you really start dumping your beads because you realize the parade route is almost done. And that is why, again, I cannot stress enough. Stand over by Transformers if you want all of the beads. Here we have the King and Queen float, and the King and Queen actually aren't on the float. They're right behind it. Once the parade's done, you get a nice long look at the Universal backstage, but please don't forget, there's no photography allowed back there. It's just for the memories, not for the Insta. And of course, the big Mama Jamma, we have got the Gator Float. Most people will come out over by Curious George and my favorite show at Universal, which is Animal Actors on Stage. I'd take you over there now, but that's going to have to wait until next week. I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And remember, at Parks with Benefits, we have the parks. You watching? That's the benefit. Be sure to click that like button, subscribe, and tell all of your friends all of the new knowledge that you've learned. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.